the Old Soul Club podcast.
What's happening, everybody? This is Larry Braggs, your man, and welcome to the Old Soul Club. You know, with my partner in crime for 35 years, the Pope of Soul. What's up, brother Pope?
Carpe the doggone diem there, brother Braggs. Carpe the doggone diem there, brother Braggs.
Good to see you, man.
Seize the doggone day, man.
Seize the doggone day. Boy, I tell you, boy, I always look forward to your greeting, man. I look forward to it every single time you do it.
Well, just so y'all know out there, that's with absolutely no research. Your boy, the Pope of Soul, does have a little bit of background in Latin. I don't think I should name her name.
Oh, watch out.
To protect the innocent. But, you know, I got a little Latin background.
Cool, man. Man, I am feeling good, man. I'm back. You know, I had a little retreat this weekend with my fraternity brothers, and we had a great time, man. I'm just, just socializing and talking about brothers and, uplifting brothers and, man, and talking about mental health and all this kind of stuff and keeping, men like us black men all just well and good and keeping the spirits up, brother. So it's been good. It's been well.
Yeah, man, that was a wonderful thing that you breached that subject for us so that, as often as we can, we'll try to bring up the fact that our mental health as men and as men of color doesn't have any problem with being at the forefront. But I finally found out today where you've been all weekend, man. It's like playing Where's Waldo, man.
Oh, yeah, man. I was ducking and dodging.
Where's Larry?
Yeah, I was ducking and dodging and hiding, man. When you're out with the brothers, it's a different kind of thing, man. We have to do our thing and get lost for a little bit, man, and come back, rejuvenated and ready to go. But guess what?
What?
We got a special guest on the show today, my man.
Uh-oh. You promised. I
told you, man. All right, bro. We got a surprise. He's gonna be on, man. And it's my man. He's an amazing musician, engineer, producer, songwriter, and I've been knowing him for a long time, man. And his name is Angelo Earl.
Angelo Earl.
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna say his nickname.
What kind of fake stage name is Angelo Earl, man?
Well, that's his real name.
It is not. I want to see his driver's license. When he comes on, I want to see his driver's license.
His mama named him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. Mm-hmm. That's right.
From Memphis, Tennessee, baby. Angelo Earl from Memphis, Tennessee. So we're gonna get on with him, man, when he shows up on the show. Today we're gonna talk to him in a little bit. So just be prepared, man, to get ready for a good time, because I know, Angelo just as crazy as we are, I think, man. So it's gonna be a fun time in the old house tonight. So,
man, looking forward to it. There's been something in the air all day today, just this air of excitement, even before I knew who you were surprising us with on the air.
Oh yeah, man. Oh man, it's gonna be great, man. So it's been fun, man. I've been listening to a lot of new stuff, man, and checking out new music and getting ready for this project I'm doing, man. And everything's cool, brother. I can't, we got some issues we got to talk about in the Q, Rue, and A section of the show today. So man, it's gonna be great.
Looking forward to it.
And also, hey, don't forget, Old Soul Club podcast sponsored by who?
Larry Braggs Coffee.
Ooh, that's smooth, soulful roast.
Get you some, baby. Hey, man, don't think we let that little tidbit slip by last week when you said working on a new single, and then you just went on to something else real fast. No, man. So there's some new music coming from Larry Braggs, man.
Yeah, man. It's some new music, man. I got a special guest on the music and all that, man. So it's gonna be really good, bro. Really good.
Well, you always have some great guests. Hey, refresh my memory. This is just me talking, folks. Last week's intro, the intro song was a song by Larry Braggs called "What You Trying to Say." One of my personal favorites. But there is a killer saxophone solo on there. Now, is that the one that you said the infamous, that's more than famous, the infamous Eddie M was playing on?
Yeah, man, that's my man Eddie M playing on that saxophone solo, man. On What You're Trying to Say, Eddie
Oh,
M,
for
man.
real? That's
Yeah,
Eddie
man,
M.
that's Eddie M, man. People probably remember Eddie M from Prince's band and from Sheila's band, and you know,
As Sheila E would call him, Eddie M.
yeah.
Eddie M. I need my furs and my diamonds and my jewels and shit. Man, look, don't talk to me about anybody and anything out of Minneapolis, man.
Hey,
God
man,
dang.
I talked to Eddie M about his approach to playing because he got that bebop thing, funky bebop thing down.
Yeah, man. How do you bebop over one chord? That just amazes me.
I told him, I said, man, C.O. Parker be like killing people with like 4 notes. Eddie go, yeah, man, but I only got like 3. Great guy, man. Eddie M, man.
Oh,
Amazing
man.
musician and funny and crazy, man. We got to get him on the podcast, man. I got to call him, man. Eddie M, man.
Yeah, you got to call him, man. It's like all of our cats, all of our friends that are up there in the Twin Cities area, man. They're just either crazier than June bugs, but also talented as all get out.
Eddie played horns on Crying Out Loud also. He played on that Places record. All that's Eddie M. All the sax stuff was Eddie M on that record.
Nah, I never knew that.
Yeah, man.
I never knew that, man.
On that record, man, we were broke, all of us. So we did that record, and Eddie played all the horn parts because man, just like my coffee company, I got one dude in the studio had one horn, Eddie M. So
man,
that's how it works, man.
That's the secret to keeping your overhead down, huh?
Yeah, man. Hey, man. Look at just like our staff here, man. We got a crackpot staff working on the old soul show, bro. I mean, from our legal team to our IT team, bro. We got a crackpot team, bro. We got a crackpot team, dog.
Man, you're killing me, man. I'm supposed to be able to talk today, man, and you got me laughing all hysterical alike.
Listen, man, our IT team is one of the best IT teams in the business, man. Now, I mean,
Now, when you say team, you mean that one dude with a laptop, right?
Yeah, well, it's a single team, but it's a team.
Oh man,
I mean, team is team, right?
Yeah, team is team, man.
Right.
Team
and our research and development team. Oh man,
crackpot.
Crackpot. Now it's the same dude, but it's
wait a minute. Huh? Research and development, same dude
as the IT, who's also the legal team.
Well, who you got on marketing?
Same dude.
I'm gonna stop right there.
Yeah. Social media is a different dude. Yeah,
folks, it's
his cousin.
Folks, you can catch this episode and all previous episodes and all future episodes of the Old Soul Club podcast on YouTube, Spotify currently. Yeah, we got that slot.
Yep.
Pandora, Facebook, and soon to be Apple Music, so wherever you listen to podcasts, but we wanted to hit those big top 3 first. And
wherever you find your podcast and you listen to it, man, you'll find us. Also on the Larry Bragg channel and on the Old Soul channel here on YouTube, man. So absolutely, it's cool. Very cool, man. Very good.
I am happy. I'm happy to inform you that I think after we finish today, I should be able to get back to adding content and beefing up the Pope of Soul YouTube channel.
Oh man, Pope of Soul, Big Pope. Yeah. Hey man, all right.
Yeah, just a little story about how that all came about. They say you should never nickname yourself, so I just want y'all to know out there that I didn't.
No, he didn't nickname himself. Some people nicknamed him, man. The Pope of Soul, and he is the Pope of Soul. And that's all you need to know about that. He's the Pope of Soul, and I dare somebody to try to take his position away from him.
That's right. I say Clay.
Now, he doesn't reside in the Vatican. He resides in, Vatican.
The
down in
Vatican,
Austin, down in Austin, Texas. That's the Vatican.
And I don't know why it's got to be on that other side of the railroad tracks near Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Right. Now his house a little shorter than the Pope's, so he don't have no window that he just hangs out in. He looks out a peephole, but he's still a Pope's soul. That's all.
Yeah. And the most important thing, right across the street from a Popeyes. That's the most important thing in the difference between the Vatican and the Vatican.
That's right, man. The Popeyes is across the street. Yeah. So what's going on, man? What's happening today?
Man, I was ready to jump all over your head, man. Last week we had a really good podcast. Hopefully y'all caught it, and hopefully y'all will catch it once you hear this podcast. And you know, I'm not going to apologize because both you and the Deacon of Soul always told me never to apologize to the audience, man. But you know, there's something in the air today in Texas. You know, just got a brother kind of breathing. You know what I'm saying? Just got to kind of go for some air. You know,
it's China. It's China, man. You blame it on China because because Herschel Walker said China is stealing all of our good air and feeding us back bad air. Yeah.
Is that what it went?
Yeah, that's what Herschel Walker.
Is that where it went?
Herschel Walker said China is stealing all of our good oxygen and air and pushing us back, bad air. Now, I didn't know China had a vacuum cleaner or suction machine that could suck all of the good air from the United States, pass it through all these other countries, get down to China, shoot back with a leaf blower, oversized leaf blower,
stop,
and they blow back bad air through all these other countries and hit the U.S. with bad air. And so now we know why the smog is in California, because China is stealing all the good air, says Herschel Walker.
Stop, man. You and Herschel. I mean, we don't disparage people here on the Old Soul Club podcast, but come on, man.
Hey, Phil, I can't make this stuff up. I mean, the man said it. He said it. Now I don't know if he had too many football collisions in the head or what, but he said that. Now that's all I'm gonna say. This is music, look, but I had to tell you. You said it was something in the air. I'm telling you who it was.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. Living in Central Texas for as many years as I have, I became acquainted with the original, the Yellow Rose of Texas, Mr. Earl Campbell.
No, the Tyler Rose.
The Tyler Rose. I'm sorry, not the Yellow Rose. That's a whole different story.
Yeah, man, the Tyler Rose.
The Tyler Rose.
Hey, man, Earl Campbell. That's my man. Earl Campbell.
So what I'm saying is, man, he's about a foot shorter than me, and one of his thighs make up my whole body.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro.
And he been hit, stomped on, piled on. For how many years was his career?
I don't know, but
yet still, every time he showed up at a gig, he'd walk in with his twin brothers, Steve, and his other brother, Steve. I can't ever remember his name, so I just call them both Steve. And he said, "What's up, Phil?" So he remember his people. Now that doggone Herschel, he was doomed from the beginning.
But
doggone name there, Herschel.
Earl Campbell's office was like right next door to where we played, right? When he got the Earl Campbell sausage.
Oh, I didn't know that.
When I used to eat like sausage and stuff like that,
Earl's
office was like, you didn't know, like it was like 3 doors down from where we played.
No way.
Earl used to always come over, L-B, what's happening? And he would walk in, slow, because his body was starting to like,
that's
down on him from all the hits that he took playing football.
Yeah.
But everybody was still scared of running into him because they feel that they would be in traction if they just walked into Earl Campbell, And Earl, he's the nicest guy, man. He used to hang out. Quick story, man. I got to tell you. My son, my middle son, was doing a assignment in grammar school. When he was in grammar school, like I think he was in like the 5th grade, and he had to do this assignment. And they all had to pick somebody to write an assignment about.
Uh-huh.
He happened to pick Earl Campbell.
Right on.
Now, remember when they had the big ice storm when they had the Super Bowl in Dallas or Houston, whenever it was, and then they had the ice storm. They couldn't have the Super Bowl because even though it was a big old ice storm, so they lost all the money.
Yeah,
well,
man.
Earl Campbell was there, and my son was writing this paper, and he came home and said, "Dad, I got to write this paper, on this guy named Earl Campbell." I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Well, would you like to meet him in person?" He goes, "What do you mean?" So I called Earl, and Earl happened to be in Dallas that day. He said, "LB, I'm in Dallas today. If he can get down here, I'll let him interview me for the paper and take some pictures with him." And so we got him down to where Earl was, and Earl gave my son an interview. Now he's a fifth grader. Earl Campbell gave my fifth grade son an interview about him and why they call him the Tyler Rose and all this kind of stuff, man. And my son did the report. He turned it in. The school liked it so much that they put his report in, the big boards they have, the big shadow box they have in the middle of in the school.
Yeah, in the hallway.
In the hallway. They put his report with the picture of him and Earl Campbell in the shadow box, man. It was so cool, man. And I learned something from my son's report because I didn't know that how Earl Campbell got the nickname, the Tyler Rose. His friend in high school named him that.
Oh,
right. And now he is a folk hero in Texas, officially. So it's like they have three of them. They have Davy Crockett, somebody else, and Earl Campbell, the Tyler Rose.
That's true.
Yeah,
that'd be a really great story if the paper would have made more than a B+.
He got an A, man. My son got an A.
Of course he did.
It was his only A, but he got no, he got an A, man. He got a great A. And my other son, right after that, I can't make this stuff up. It's so cool. My youngest son, who is he's a senior in high school now, right? He plays soccer and all this kind of stuff. But they were both playing baseball back then. They were pretty good, young baseball players. They was doing really well. So my son was playing baseball, and he went and saw the movie 42 with his mom about Jackie Robinson, right?
Right.
And so he picked the number 42, right, to start wearing. So in baseball, he was wearing number 42. He was cool. He was and he was quick, fast, and played. He played outfield and stuff like that. He pulled an assignment out of the hat at school, and the name that came out was Jackie Robinson.
See,
and so he was like, "Whoa!" And so he got to do an assignment on Jackie Robinson, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and the number, he wore the number always. He was wearing the number anyway. Yeah, he just stopped wearing it lately because he plays soccer. You can't wear 42 in soccer. So he plays soccer now, man, and he's he's 6'1" now and all that. So he's doing great. Proud of him, man. He's on National Honor Society, and he's picking colleges now, trying to get to college. So I tried to call Professor Eddie Glad at Princeton to get my son a walkthrough at Princeton University because I think my son, Brandon Braggs, would be a perfect fit at Princeton University with Professor Eddie Glad and play soccer for Princeton University. So,
which school are we looking for?
Princeton University.
Look, I'm not surprised. Shout out to both of your sons.
Yeah.
And to your whole family being so athletic. And I know that back in the day when we played, you guys would always shoot off on the weekends during Saturday, during the day, play basketball and stuff. Now, did you happen to have that tradition when you were hanging out with our special guest who's been waiting in the wings for us?
Ladies and gentlemen, are y'all ready for this? Because we sitting here and I want to get to this, but let me put this caveat out there, brother. I would love for my son to go to HBCU school, but there is no soccer programs unless someone can find me one that I don't know about. So, he's looking at all kinds of schools, great schools, man. You look at schools in Florida, all over the place, but Princeton University with Professor Eddie Glad or Stanford University in California would be great, or Brown University. So,
we're rooting for you, man. We're rooting for you.
I'm rooting for him, man. Wherever he decides to go, it's going to be great. Ladies and gentlemen, tell you what, it's that time. Please welcome to the podcast a man, a legend in his own time and mine, and he's my friend, and he taught me so much in the music business, and I owe a lot to this brother for teaching us just how to be musicians, because he was always there and ahead. Please say hello to the one and only Mr. Angelo Earl. Yeah, what's up, man?
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's happening, brother? What's happening?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Hey, man. Angelo Earl, if y'all don't know, Angelo Earl is a guitarist. He is a producer. He's a writer. He's
guitarist.
He's an arranger.
Guitarist.
Yeah,
That's like saying Superman was a reporter. Man.
Okay, I'm sorry. He played Get Fiddle.
He played Get Fiddle. He do some production things, starring in movies and television shows.
Oh man, he's done it all, man. Let me tell you, hey man, this dude is the dude, man. If people don't know, it's always that dude. Everybody got a guy.
Everybody's got a guy.
Angelo is our guy, man. Angelo's our guy, man. From the time I was, LV back in the day.
Yeah.
Angelo is the originator of the band, The Business, but it was called Fingerprint.
Yeah,
he started the band in Memphis, Tennessee. And
sorry about
that. Yeah, man. Yeah. And I saw Angelo for the first time when I was in college. Now, it doesn't mean Angelo's old. He just that he was doing his thing. And I saw him at our University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff, in a concert. And I swear they played the music to the T. It was better. Someone was better than the music that you hear on the radio from the original artist. I was like, oh, this band is ridiculous, man.
Okay, yeah, you do owe me an apology. Do I call you Mr. Earl?
No, man. Just call me Angelo. Angelo. Let's call me
Angelo. Yeah, just go.
You owe me. You owe me an apology. We're gonna circle back around to that in a second. But by the time I joined the business, right, we had a residency, of course, as y'all heard before on the Old Soul Club podcast, brought to you by Larry Bragg's Coffee.
Yeah,
that's right.
As y'all have heard, we played at an establishment called the Catfish Station on 6th Street.
Oh
yeah.
But
you've been there.
We'd play there, and this was unheard of. This is unprecedented today. This would be unheard of today. We played there like Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night in a row.
Yeah.
And
no, you're wrong.
I'm wrong.
We played there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night.
See, 7 days a week.
Yeah, man. We played that. I think we played every day but Monday because they was closed.
Wow.
Yeah. And we didn't play Sunday because we Christians.
Made $12 a piece.
In American. But during the day, it was a full-time job. It was a full-time job, Angelo, during the day. This is LB.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, did not believe in sending. Well, first of all, this is when dinosaurs walked the earth. So did not send out any practice tapes, CDs, MP3s, stone tablets with words on it.
Uniform.
Right.
You show
papyrus.
Papyrus. Yeah, man. Back then, you show up at the club and LB be like, all right, this is a song we gonna learn. Okay, for next week? No, man, tonight. Listen, we gonna play it tonight. We all day would be there rehearsing. All right, man, we got that song down. Can we get something to eat? No, man, now we got to put it in the set. Then we got to run the set. Then we got to run the set.
Listen, man.
Then we got to run the show. Then you get to eat.
Listen, I was hanging out with Angelo and them on the road, man, and I watched him. I watched this guy put bands together, put shows together, put arrangements on the shows. Then I started learning how to put segues from those songs and the arrangements to the next song in the set. And so he had this down to a science, man. They would work it out. And then when they hit, you would have thought, they were better than most of the guys you saw on the road that was getting paid thousands and hundred thousands of dollars, man. That band Fingerprint was like the bomb.
Yeah.
And so he taught all of us how to do that, man. I mean, myself, Morris Hayes, who wound up playing in Prince,
Yeah.
Steve Joyner, who played percussions, and we had a drummer called Lino Reyes that played with us, man. That was Rick James. We had a Selton Cole Jr. who played to the Temptations now. Angelo taught all of us, man, how to put music together and how to make a show, because he said, hey, man, if you're going to play it, might as well play it the right way and try to play it better than the people who did it.
Right, man.
I always caught that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask him a question, but I have to start my question with this. Those techniques or whatever it is that you do, how you do.
Yeah.
If the people want to see documented proof, there is a show, short-lived, and the featured band on that show was a band led by Tito Jackson. Did he say Tito?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Tito Jackson. Yes, and when I heard this, I was like, man, come on. Like, yeah, man, Angelo playing with Tito Jackson, and that band is fire. Yeah. And I'm trying to tell you, man, I watched it and I went, woo.
Yeah, man. Your discography, man, and your discography and bio, man, it's kind of like off the chart.
Yeah. Hey, man, I don't even think about it, man. I don't think about it, man. But when I do think about it, I'm going, ooh, did I do that? I mean, good gracious, man, there's a lot of stuff in there, man. And I'm just grateful to God, man, that I had the strength. He gave me the strength to stick with it. Because, man, when I was young, man, my mama told me, okay, you're 18, either you're going to get a job in this house or you're going to have to go. And she set my clothes out on the porch. She really did that. She really did that. She said, you decide. Is it going to be music or you're going to stay in this house? I said, well, I'm sorry, Mom, but it's going to be music. So I took off walking.
Oh, wow.
Walking. Wow. And I had to sleep outside, man, for about a month. Outdoors.
Really?
Yes. Me and this guy named Artie Smith, who was a living witness to that, because he was doing it with me because his mama did him the same way.
Wow.
I'm telling y'all, man, this ain't been no piece of cake. This ain't been easy, dude. This was begging for donuts just to eat breakfast.
Wow.
You know
wow.
So I don't care what nobody say. I paid and still paying dues.
Hey, man, of course. Yeah, bro. Of course.
Yeah. That brings us to our first question. Mm-hmm. So you had decided pretty early on, this is it. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Never look back. Never change your mind.
No. I put it in my yearbook. It's in my yearbook. Professional entertainer.
So what we're trying to do, we're trying to share with anyone who's trying to do it today, whether they be a young student afraid to get out there and wondering if there's still a career to be had in music, whether it's someone who hasn't been doing it as long as we've been doing it and wondering whether or not it's worth continuing on. And, I'm hoping that people hear the exuberance and the joy that are in our voices. We've broken down old men, and we're still talking like kids. Like, yeah, let's go do this.
Let me tell you something. What Herbie Hancock said, man. Herbie Hancock said, in order to stay in this business, you have to have childlike wonderment. That means you got to look at the music like you're a child and go, "Oh wow, what's that?" You got to always be inquisitive and always have passion. Right. But the passion cannot be ego-driven. It has to be just passion with true love for the music and respect. And that, to me, is what a lot of people fail to realize, that music is about respect. Respecting where it came from, respect where it is now, and then respect for what it could be. And what it could be is what you got to put there, because everybody else didn't put theirs there. So you got to put something there that ain't been there before.
Absolutely.
That's how you're going to become an artist, when you start painting your own pictures and people decide whether they want to look at those pictures. But those pictures have got to mean something, and it has to touch the multitudes. It just can't touch your local cities. It has to touch the world.
Ooh, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to my man, the legendary guitar player, Mr. Angelo Earl. Hey, man, we having a great time here on the Old Soul Club podcast, and we're going to continue to talk with Angelo So y'all stick around, give us a few minutes. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Old Soul Podcast, man. We're here with my man, the incredible guitarist, just a producer, Mr. Angelo Earl. Hey man, hey, look at Angelo. We got some questions for you, man, because you've played with some people Angelo is the current guitar player for the Barcades, first of all. And the Barcades, legendary funk band, man. Larry Dobson and all those cats, man.
Oh man,
legendary. Uncle Larry, I should call him. Even though my name Larry, he told me to call him Uncle Larry. So that's cool. And Angelo,
the Holy Ghost.
Watch out, Doc.
My bad. It is Sunday, and I am the Pope of Soul.
That's right.
Just throwing that out there.
And your experiences with Barcades, man, and you also played with the Funk Brothers, man.
Yes.
Motown Funk
Brothers. I gotta love with you, man. That was like the highlight of my career, to be on stage with those legends. I mean, Papa Joe Hunter, the original. I mean, dude, George Roundtree, who's a MD for Tops.
Yeah, man. My God.
Dude.
My God. Brother
Man.
Roundtree. Oh my God.
Ralph Armstrong, who played with the Mahavishnu Orchestra, was the bass player.
Sir.
My first night with them was in New York City, man, at the BB King Club, man, in Manhattan.
Yeah, man, right there in Manhattan.
I walked in the room, and that cat was standing there with that upright bass, with that chart of music up there, and he was practicing, blowing, and I'm going, what in the hell am I doing? I just knew they were going to send my ass home and said, thank you, but you're not ready.
Thank you and good night.
Thank you and good night. And I was shaking in my bones.
Oh,
the boys actually never made it out the case.
Yeah, man, that had to be like just amazing, man. Just standing up there and just
dude, I was so honored, man. And it just so happens, man, my reading wasn't that good, but I could read some. And the other guitar player, man, who really, man, helped me so much, guided me through some of them changes, because it was a lot of, sometimes the musical director will write things and it's not what's on the record.
Right.
He stated before we even hit a note, he said, look, guys, my name is George Roundtree, and on these charts, I want my charts played as is, no improvisation. I said, okay, this is it for Angelo, and it was nice. I enjoyed meeting you guys. You. Man, but I played the songs just like the record, like the fingerprint, like we always do. We always say, if you're gonna play this shit, make sure it feels just like the record.
Exactly.
And I kept that gig for many years.
Right, because of the preparation. Yeah.
I was prepped.
And, he was the MD for the Temptations for a while too, man.
Wow, I didn't know that, man.
Yeah, man. He did arrangements and stuff for Temptations.
Yeah, man. He was brilliant, man. Bless his soul.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. Brilliant, man. Brilliant cat, man. Wow. And hey, Phil, who was that name that we looked up and Angelo played when we went, what?
Oh, man, look. I'll give you a clue, Angelo. So you play with so many people.
Yeah.
Some love by night, some by day.
It's not the Al Jarreau version now.
No, not the Al Jarreau record, but that ties into one of my favorite TV shows, Moonlighting. Man, you did a record.
You talking about what's her name? The female. I played on her record, man.
Sybil Shepherd.
Sybil Shepherd, man.
Yes. Yes, and they were so nice to me, man. I just enjoyed every minute of it, man. She was such a big star. I was like in awe of that, just being a part of that, man. And with the great Sid Selvage producing, man. And Kevin Page was on that record too.
Who?
Kevin Page. He was on
that. Yeah, because you played with in the Kevin Page band.
Yeah,
Kevin Page, we used to mess with him, man. Back in the day, we said Kevin. Wait.
Well,
anything I want to.
Anything I need. Yeah, man. Kevin Page.
And like I said, man, actually, I was co-producer on that record, man, but they paid me off. Told me I had to take this deal, or they weren't gonna put my stuff on Go with associate producer.
And that's the cutthroat side of the music
That's the
business.
cutthroat side of the
Yeah.
music business.
Yeah, man. That's what we live. That's what we live and die with sometimes, man.
That's
But
right.
hey, Phil.
Yeah.
Phil, I just want you to understand. This man went from the Funk Brothers,
Uh-huh.
the Barcades.
Uh-huh.
Then all of a sudden he's over there with Silver Shepherd.
Silver Shepherd. And then back to Jody Watley.
And then back to
As a matter of fact, God damn it, Jody Watley and that motherfucking.
Go! Talk that talk. God damn, what Jody do to you, man?
It wasn't
Damn.
Jody, it was Al Bell, and Al Bell motherfucker owes me some money. And if he gives me my money.
Parental advisory.
Oh, don't worry, B. We already took care of it on the on the setup.
Nah, man. Oh, man. Hey, man. Look at it, man. This is real live stuff. We don't mess around.
Real live, man. We ain't censoring. We ain't censoring nobody up in here.
We don't censor nobody on here. So
look, they say, but he calls himself the Pope of Soul. Look, I ain't always been saved. God dang it. I still can't bring myself to cuss on a Sunday, but I'm just saying.
Hey, Angelo, let me ask you, man. You've done so many great records, man, and you've done some stuff with. You had a great band that, man, I wish they had got off the ground with Day One, and it was a great band.
Oh my God, that was with Donald Brown. Oh no, man. Day One, no, that was with Hubert Crawford's son, Anthony Crawford, who is doing amazing work right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I mean, dude, we had some heavy hitters in there. You know, we had this guy Larry Springfield, which Larry, if you listen, I'm gonna come by your house and kick your ass.
Shout out to Larry.
Larry Springfield, he's a singer from Memphis, man. Amazing singer. Got amazing, instrument, man. And Angelo's always been that guy, man, that was right on.
Always wanting to whoop somebody's ass.
No. He's always ahead of what's about to happen. He was always ahead of what was about to happen. Even back in the day, he would say, "Hey, man, we got to do this, X, Y, Z." And then dudes would get lazy sometimes and wouldn't do it. Yeah, and it would happen.
B saw it.
I saw
it. He used to feel so bad for me, man, because these cats didn't get it.
Yeah, man.
He said, "Angelo, man, I totally see it, man. I get it. Yeah, I understand what these cats is thinking, man." And I'm gonna tell you something, man. I believe it's just fear. And then you know how black folks are selfish with each other. They don't like to see people to get to shine. So when the shine start coming to you, they start turning into an eclipse.
And that's a problem we got, man. We start covering up the moon. It's covering up the sun. The moon show up and start covering up the sun. And that happens with us, man. And that's a shame. That's that crab in the barrel thing that we're trying to get rid of, man.
And I do know where it comes from, and it's indoctrination.
Really?
Yeah, man, that's where it is, and we haven't been able to shake that to this day.
Yeah, and that's
still dude, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I was talking to a guy, and he was saying that we was talking about Martin Luther King. In fact, he was killed in Memphis. And then when you talk about Reverend Billy Kyles and Jesse Jackson, after that speech that Dr. King gave that April 3rd, they should have called out to all the Black Americans in Memphis to come and form a perimeter around the Lorraine Hotel to make sure nothing happened.
Amen.
They didn't do it. We could have saved Dr. King, man.
He's absolutely correct, man. I mean, we have to get past this why you, why me attitude and become us, because everybody else can go us.
Right.
And we go, why you? Why not me? Instead of saying, hey, this dude's got it, pull somebody else up. Man.
Yeah, you remember the Uglies, right? You remember the Uglies?
The Uglies, yeah, that's
yes,
right.
Sir.
Uglies, man.
Yes, sir.
Record companies was chasing us, man.
Yeah, with a great friend of ours who passed away. Bless his soul, man. God rest his soul.
Musgrove, dog. One of the baddest bass players in the country.
Musgrove, man.
Just a natural gifted guy, man.
Yeah, man. Yes,
naturally gifted.
Funky is a truckload of chickens going down the highway with a bull
I'm
following.
telling you now, it's just a truckload of cows that's in a hot 90-degree truck.
I gotta ask you a question, Angelo. Was Brandon Temple in the Uglies?
Yes, he was.
He was in the Uglies.
He was a founding member.
Okay, I was just double checking.
Look, it was Angelo, Brandon Temple, Yogi,
Malcolm Milligan.
Malcolm Milligan, and then
Oh.
they had what's her name show? What was the girl that
It
was
was Amir Tatum.
Amira.
Tatum. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Malcolm was in there. They were
Malcolm was the one that co-wrote the songs with me, and Malcolm was the lead singer first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he started doing that thing with at the ARC room with Charlie Sexton and all them folks. But dude, man, me and Malcolm, man, we did plays together. We wrote songs for plays, and then we was in a band called Connect the Dots. We used to play a steamboat.
Yeah.
Turn it out down there, man.
Speaking of plays, Angelo, you got some acting credit, man. You know.
Yeah.
You did a series. It was a short series. I wish it stayed on because it was really good, man.
Yeah.
With Jimmy Smith.
Yes.
The woman's heartthrob. You know,
Jimmy
man.
Smith. I was in the cast. My name was Charlie Logan. I was the musician, but my daughter was the chick that was Caitlin McGee's friend. She was a private investigator, and but that was my daughter in the show.
Yeah, man. What was the name of that movie?
Bluff City Law. Bluff City Law.
I knew it had lost somewhere in the title.
Yeah, Bluff City
Law. As a matter of fact, they just sent me a check, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, man. And you were in another movie. Also.
Oh yeah, I do. Well, I mean, you know, I was in a lot of stuff, man. I was in Mississippi back in the day.
Yep, that's the one we talking about.
Yep. Yeah, I was in jail. That was a regular true nigga role right there. You know, I was in jail. They put me in jail in that, but that was a great experience right there, man. And then you know, I've done Little Giants. This music for the movie Little Giants.
Yes. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I had a thing on PBS called Family Name that was working with one of the guys that worked with Dr. Dre and this big time Rafa Sadina, the engineer who does all these big artists like Michael Jackson. He did everybody, man.
Right.
Yeah. Him, man. You know, because you was out in LA when I was doing that.
Man. Yeah, I was around. I was around.
Baby, you've been around everything that I fucking did because you was at the house with me.
Right. I was at the house, bro. I was at the house.
Yeah, sleeping on the floor. We was in the studio. You sleeping on the floor, man. We get up, cook grits and eggs, egg poultry, and Mona Lisa was the man. All that stuff.
The combinations have got a little bit better.
Yeah,
it's just a better floor.
Oh, it's a better floor. I said the combination.
Better floor. Yeah, man. Yeah, Angelo. I mean, you know, like you being a guest on the show, man. We gotta send you some Larry Bragg's coffee.
Okay. Well, now I don't drink coffee. You know, I don't drink coffee, but I do know a lot of people that do. My sister drink coffee.
Oh, well, we send you the coffee, man. You got to grind them up.
Yeah.
And then you got to roast them. I mean, not roast them, but you grind them up.
Now he gonna tell you how to cook the coffee.
Right, man. Right. And then you put them in a French press, bro.
Yeah.
And then you have that French press coffee. There's nothing like a French press cup of coffee, man. The best way to drink coffee. You know, and it has that smooth, soulful
now you talk about how them other folks be doing it.
No, man, that's how he do it for real, man. Tell your sister, don't mess around with Larry Braggs. Get hooked on that French press.
Hey, man, that's the way you drink coffee, man.
My sister Maxwell House in the jar.
No, we got to give it in the shaker.
Good to the last drop.
Like your mom and your daddy used to drink that sink in the morning. Hey, them Folgers crystals.
Folgers crystals.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm from Louisiana, so I got to represent that chicory.
Yeah. Hey, Angelo, man, whatever you do, folks, don't drink that chicory coffee. That chicory coffee will have you seeing ghosts, and goblins.
Hey, man, that's why there's so many cemeteries in Louisiana.
That's right, man. Hey, Angelo, man.
They drink that coffee.
Man, before we get you out of here, man, let me ask you a couple questions. This is what are you working on right now?
Yeah,
musically.
Actually, man, I'm working on a Christmas record for this group that was on Stax back in the day called the Mad Lads.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you know, I want a girl.
Yeah, man.
Shop around.
Right. Right. And for folks that don't know, man, Stax Records is from Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh,
from Memphis, Tennessee. So that's Stax.
These are legends, man.
So you're doing that, and what else, man?
Well, I'm actually writing for the Barclays. As a matter of fact, man, we have a song that's on the charts. It moved up from 28 to number 27 on the adult R&B charts on Billboard. So we're
right on.
Yeah, so we're actually got something out, man, and we're hooked up. I'm trying to hook us up with some guys that could get us on a Jimmy Fallon show. So we're working on that. so we can get this brand and get this sound out there to everybody, right?
Yeah, that would be
But
super
it's
dope.
number one on the indie charts. It's number one on the indie charts.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, hey man, and you know, that's the thing right now, man. You know, all this music, great music and great musicians that's out, man. And it's so hard to get some of these great legendary, you know, players and bands out in the charts because everything's so saturated with this other stuff, man.
Let me
And there's
say-
nothing wrong with it, but
Yeah.
there should be a place.
Let me say this, B. I'm gonna tell you something, man. To get on the chart is not that hard. All you have to do is have a BDS contract, or a sound span. Hey, Morris Hayes. Morris Hayes.
Now that's a guy we got to get on the show later
That's
on.
who we gotta
Morris
get on.
Hayes.
Morris Hayes.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is like an added
You know
little
I'm
plus.
on a podcast with LB Braggs and Mr. Phil Redmond.
What's up, Mr. Hayes? There's serious shout outs all day long.
Now that is a plus. We on the phone with Angelo Earl, and then the legendary Morris Hayes from Prince Band calls.
That's right.
Oh man, that's awesome. Tell Morris Hayes that he's
the
going to be our
stars of the line today.
matter of fact. Tell him he's going to be our guest next week. So be prepared. Yeah, be prepared for next week with Morris Hayes, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, let me find out what Mr. Hayes wants right now.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, man, we're going to let Angelo go. He's been a great guest for us today. Hey, Angelo.
Okay, I'll do that. All right. Okay, great.
You guys, check out your LB. You guys are legendary as well. Thank you very much. I'll holler at y'all later, bro.
All right.
All right. This is not scripted. This was not practiced, but
Right.
LB was telling the folks, LB was explaining last week, I should say,
Yeah.
that the camaraderie and the community that we built
Right.
between Memphis and Austin, and then that good 10-year run that we had
Yeah.
between the business, fingerprints, trick track, all of that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's called destiny, man. You can change your destiny. Your destiny don't have to be ordained. You can change that destiny, man. So your future will be different as opposed to what it could be if you don't. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
don't be afraid to step outside the box.
Amen.
You know, you have to step outside the box because if you don't, because people don't want you to succeed, man. They'll hate on you. They're jealous of that.
Right.
You know, so,
I already see that this podcast is going to have part 2.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah. Hey, I spoke to the editing department
yeah.
while we were on break. Don't worry, this is gonna be like 2-3 episodes.
Okay.
So we just talking, Angelo. You know, if you want to go get you something from the kitchen and come back, or
no, we ain't doing that. Hey, man,
you know, just we
Man,
just go roll.
look here, man. You've been busy doing a lot of work, man. And I know, Phil,
A lot of
Hope
great
Soul
work.
will have you talking here, just on everything he want to catch up on before the year. And we can't have that because it is a running show.
Yeah,
So-
I got
And Angelo Earl is brought to you today, y'all, by Larry Bragg's Coffee,
you. Right.
Soul for Roast. And so we want to thank you, man. And hey, before we get you out there, man, I need you to tell the young musicians, like we always want to ask a guest,
Yeah.
young musicians, young people, young folks of color, black folks, black men,
Yeah.
something inspirational, man, that you would suggest, and people who are getting in this business or just the liberal arts or into film,
yeah.
movies, because you've done it all. What would you, what kind of advice would you give them?
Well, it's like this, man. The music business is dangerous because if you don't take it seriously, it will kill you, literally kill you. Now, the thing about the music business is that it is a business and you must treat it as such. But as an artist, you have to be original. Without originality, you have nothing. Now, you can be mediocre with cover songs or whatever, but originality is what's going to make you go to the Hall of Fame. Without the originality, you will not see no parts of the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to be in this, understand where you are and understand where you're trying to go and understand that it's real. Do not take anything for granted, period. And make sure that you stay like a child with the wonderment, like Herbie Hancock said, always be wonderment. Keep that wonderment there, bright-eyed, bushy tail, and go, wow. Okay, so here's something here, here's something there. I want to touch it all. You're not going to be able to touch it all, but that's the beauty of it, is that you always got somewhere to go. There's no such thing as perfection, but it's always a such thing as trying to get there. And that should be the fun, is trying to get to perfection, but never reaching it, because that means that you'll always have something to do. So make sure that you are serious about the music business, because if you're not, you will get killed, But also make sure that humility is the number one thing that you do, and you prepare yourself for being humble, because this music business will humble you whether you like it or not. And so do not let your ego tell you to do things that you will regret later.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is spoken some wisdom from the one and only, my friend, my brother, and just an amazing human being and a great all-around guy. Memphis, Tennessee's own, but the world loves him. Please thank you so much to Mr. Angelo Earl for being here on our show. Angelo, thank you, brother. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank y'all for having me, man. It's always a plum pleasing pleasure.
Plum pleasing pleasure, yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
We want to keep on going. Hey, Phil, that's great, man. Having Angelo here. Oh,
yeah, man, it was really good.
That was amazing, man. Having him on the show, man. So we got to get to the Q&A section. Q&A section, bro. Because I need to tell you some stuff that's going on, brother. So we need to get to that.
Well, all right. Well, we've come to that part of our show.
Oh, you mean the Q, Ru, and A section?
Yes, sir. That's where we're at.
That
is where we're at. All right. So you want to start with the big stuff, or you want to just kind of get warmed up?
Whatever you got, man. Whatever you got.
All right, man. Well, look, I just wanted to ask you. You and I spend a lot of time talking about influences, and pretty obvious to the both of us when we talk about them. But I need to know from you, who was the artist, who was the one singular influence that made Larry Bragg say, you know what, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Yes, we love Stevie, and we love Maurice, and we love James. Who was it?
My biggest was, people won't believe it, man. It was Sir Tom Jones.
And what was it about Sir Tom Jones?
It was everything about Sir Tom Jones, man. It was just, his swagger. I used to run in the house and watch the Tom Jones show. Every time it came on, if I was outside playing with my friends and my mother said, "Hey, Tom Jones on," I'm gone.
That was a good show.
I was a little boy, man, but I loved the Tom Jones show. He was 21 years old when he had that show.
Really?
Yeah, man. Tom Jones had that show at 21. He was about 21 years old, somewhere around there. And he had that television show, man. And Tom Jones was the bomb on that show. I thought he was just, his voice, just the way he, did his thing, man, on stage, the suits, the ladies throwing the bras and all that kind of stuff. I was like, this dude is, I don't know where this dude from, but he's the bomb. He ain't from around here. So, so I love Tom Jones. And a little bit tidbit about that is his manager, Tom Jones, got a big contract, right? When he was on that show.
Right.
His manager took almost all of his money. I think it might have been like $5 million he got, something like that back in the day. That was a lot of money. Took most of his money and invested his money in different companies. And you know what I found out? One of the companies that he was invested in, and this is what I heard. I guess I got to go to my research department to guarantee this is correct. But he invested in Burger King back in the day.
Really?
And he invested in other companies. And Tom Jones built his empire from those investments that he did back in the day. And he's still like a legend. And when I got a chance to meet him and sing with him on a record and hang out with him on tour, I was in heaven. Tom Jones, man, that was the guy. Tom Jones.
That was a great show. I mean, I enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
You were the lead singer for two of the greatest funk and soul groups in the world. and then to break away to do your own thing. I understand that desire, but I think the last group that you were the lead singer of was the Temptations, the Mighty Mighty Temps.
Correct.
Man, that must have been kind of scary to take that leap of faith, or to say Geronimo from that gig. Can you talk about what precipitated your exit from that gig?
Oh, wow. Okay. Let's just get this out in the open, man. Let's just talk about, let's get this out. See, because there's been a lot of rumors about why I left the Temptations or how I left the Temptations. First of all, just let me say, I loved singing in the Temptations. It was a great opportunity. It was legendary, man. I'll always be just amazed that I got a chance to sing in the greatest boy band ever. Ever. The original Temptations with Otis Williams.
Yeah.
Terry Weeks on second tenor, Ron Tyson singing first tenor,
wow,
and Willie Green singing bass. And I loved singing with Terry Weeks. We just had a blast, loved singing with them, matching voices and things like that.
Yeah.
Now, people have said and told me that they said that I left the Temptations, or the Temptations got rid of me because I didn't show up for some shows. That is a lie. Anybody that knows Larry Braggs knows that he has never not showed up for a show, never been even late for a show.
Right.
I'm on time, and I'm going to give you 200% on the show. So those stories of me just not showing up, that's a complete, utter lie, man. That's just a lie. And I don't appreciate that. And I haven't said anything about these things, man. I've been out of Temptations now for 2-3 years, right?
Right.
I left the Temptations under a circumstance that, hey, when you start messing with my money, it's time for me to go. And that was the situation. I was asked to do a tour with Bob James, Marcus Miller, and David Sanborn. They were doing the Double Vision tour.
Uh-huh.
And so, as a good steward, I went to Otis. I said, Otis, I have this opportunity, man. These guys are legendary. They did this record 25 years ago, and they're going back on tour. Al Jarreau has passed away. And they asked me to do the Al Jarreau stuff with them on this tour. I said, Otis, you're Otis Williams. Your legend is already written, man. You're legendary. Your story is written, bro. Everybody knows who you are. Your legacy is there. There is no, Otis making his legacy. It's there. You're like the Temptations.
Right.
I'm still working on mine. We don't have anything doing this month, because I asked him in like February or January. The tour wasn't starting until August. He said, well, L-B, I understand, man. Let's talk about it and make sure it works, blah, blah, blah. So we agreed later on. Okay, cool. I'm going to do it. All right, great. Now, I go back to Pat Raines, who's the manager of that tour. Told Pat, I'm good, man. I've talked to Otis. Everything's good. Get down the road, and it's not any fault of mine or Otis per se at this point, but the manager of the Temptations books gigs right in the time where I'm gone with Marcus and these guys.
Uh-huh.
And the reason he said, I don't care what you got, if the Temptations get a show, I'm booking it.
Wow.
So now I got to make a decision. Do I do what I got to do? I go to Otis, man, what's going on? This is here. We know, we made this agreement. So they decided, okay, we're going to get GC Cameron to sub for me. And you don't know GC Cameron. GC Cameron was a singer for the Spinners. He was the original singer. It's a shame we make a vow with you, man. That's GC Cameron singing that song. GC also used to be in the Temptations for a while.
Uh-huh.
So they were going to get GC. Well, I went ahead, okay, they're going to get GC. I'm going to do the thing I got to do.
Right.
So when I came back, there was a break in that tour, and I could come back and do what I did with the Temps and then finish up. I had like 2 more gigs left with Marcus now, but it was a break. So I came back to do the Temp stuff, and I get an email is saying, "Hey, LB, we're gonna dock you some money
Wow.
for the gigs you missed." And I'm going, "Wait a minute. What do you mean for the gigs I missed? You can't dock me for gigs I'm not here on if I'm not even on the gig. I'm someplace else."
I just realized what you said, man. They're gonna dock you money that you never made in the first place.
And I'm made because I'm not there.
How they gonna do that?
So I go to Otis and I tell him, "Hey man, what's going on here? How you gonna dock me for some stuff I haven't even done?" Well, I was talking to some people and they said it's not fair for you to do this and get paid by the temps. But you only pay me when I'm here. So how are you docking me? How is this making sense?
Wow.
And so me being me, and I'm going, look, I didn't come here off the street. I came here with some form of a pedigree, because I came here, I had already been on tour and people knew who I was. I said, man, if you dock me, we're going to have a problem.
Oh, wow.
So they tried me.
Mm-hmm.
And they took money out of my check. And I said, listen, this ain't going to fly with me, bro. You doing that? Okay, I tell you what. This is going to be my last leg of the tour. So you might want to find somebody else to be the lead singer of the Temptations, because I'm not going to do this kind of business, because I'm not that dude. I'm not just going to let you do what you want to do when you want to do it. To me, when it comes to my money, and I know that I have already had this conversation with you and done the things I'm supposed to do in order for me to do what I'm doing now.
Right.
So he said, well, you just go and do what you got to do. We already got somebody already. I said, okay. So we had one more show left. That show was in Sioux Falls, North Dakota.
Uh-huh.
Right? I told Terry that evening. I said, Terry, this is it for me, bro. This is it. I'm done. I told him what happened. He was like, wow. I told Willie what was happening. He was like, wow. So we did the last show, and I said, this is it. Hey, man, I'm done. I'm done. You already got somebody? Fine, I'm done. So I did the show. I did the show like I always do the show, 100%, and I left. Then they didn't have anybody.
I know what's coming next.
There was going to be a show. There was going to be a show in Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of showed up. I was already scheduled to do this event at my university for homecoming. I was being honored for the homecoming. They booked shows on top of that.
Right.
And so I said, man, I cannot make that. So what are you going to do? So they go like, forget it. We just get somebody. So they decided to get somebody else.
Uh-huh.
And they thought they had one guy who I knew was not going to do the gig because he already has his own solo career, hit records solo career. So I knew what was going to happen. So that's why I left the Temptations. It was over a money disagreement, and they took money from me that I felt they shouldn't have done because I did everything I was supposed to do. I did not just not show up for any gigs. Everybody that knows me knows that that's not Larry Bragg's, personality, persona, or, that's not how I do business. But I love the time I had in the Temptations.
Yeah.
It was a great opportunity. I did a record with the Temps, but that kind of business I wasn't going to allow happen, because then they would have been doing that to people all the time and to somebody else. And it wasn't me, man. So I had to leave. And I left, and I enjoyed it. And I still talk to Terry, and I still talk to Willie Green. And hey, man, that's it. That's the truth. If you don't believe me, you don't believe me. That's the story. Ask anybody that was around. I told all the guys in the band when I was getting ready to leave. Theron, the drummer, TC, the music director, Selton Cole, the bass player, Michael, the keyboard player, the guitar player, Brother Williams. I told them all. And that was it, man. And I was out of there. That was it.
Well, we believe you, bro. You really hate to hear that goes on that level. But ultimately, what we've been saying this whole time here in the Old Soul Club podcast is that no matter what level you're on, strive to be on, or perceive to be on, this business is what it is. And you have to be very careful. Yeah. You have to look out for yourself.
Right.
You have to protect your interest, and you have to understand that people are people.
You got to understand the business, man. When I left Tower Power, I gave Tower Power a year notice.
Wow.
Before I left. Who does that? You know? I said, man, look.
Emilio, 12 months from now, I'm out of here.
Right. I said, man, I'm going to wait because I know how hard it is to replace a person in Tower Power and replace a singer in Tower. It's a hard gig.
Yeah, man. Look how long it took before they found you.
I said, I'm going to stay until you find the person to replace me. So I was here. I was going to be here until they found it. At the end of the year, I waited a whole year. And then that's when they got Ray Green. And it was, I was like, okay, I'm out. I got Ray. I can leave. And I left December 31st. No, January 1st.
Yeah.
2013. Yep. Because we played, we did the national anthem for the Oakland Raiders game the day before. And that was my last thing with the horns. And then I went down to LA and played a gig with Herman Matthews and a Tower Power cover band the next day.
I'm sorry to laugh.
It was all ex-Tower players in the band. It was hilarious, man.
Oh my God.
Herman Matthews said, "Welcome to the club."
Shout out to the great Herman Matthews. Druminator. Hey man, I know online there's footage of your last few gigs with Tower Power, man, and like just all heartfelt and emotional. And I had a hard time kind of watching them. And I'm thinking to myself, man, you're gonna be on the phone with him the next day.
Right, there you go. We'll talk to him.
He ain't going nowhere out of your life. It just
ain't like he's going to Peru or somewhere. Like that. Hey, Phil, what's up? The next day.
That's some good stuff. That's some good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, having too much
man,
fun.
It's been a heck of a show, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. But I'm on the for real though. This is probably, I don't know if this will be the first half or the second half, but
yeah, man, this is gonna be a 2-part show, man. I mean, we had some fun with Angelo. Oh my God, Angelo, all the stuff he's done. Angelo started cussing like a sailor. Angelo had to get it out, bro.
He had to get yeah, man. It kind of did feel like he kind of had that one pent up for a minute, didn't
he? Maybe we shouldn't send him some Larry Brass coffee.
Well, it's for his sister. It's so his sister can keep
he don't need to drink none of it. Yeah.
But what are the chances? What are the chances that we would be on the phone with a special guest, and then another special guest that we were planning on getting,
Morris Hayes,
calls him? I was just talking about Mr. Hayes earlier today,
right?
With a friend of mine that's in LA.
Yeah.
And he said, man, the podcast is just off the chain, man. It was like, yeah, you're going to have special guest stuff. And Mr. Hayes called, man, that's like spitting off the Empire State Building into a shot glass,
right,
on the sidewalk that's stuck to a piece of gum, lopsided.
First of all, Angelo supposed to have his phone off, and he doesn't, and we get a great mistake.
Great mistake.
Yep. And it's Mr. Hayes from the NPG, the former MD for 18 years with Prince. Oh my God.
His right-hand man.
Yeah, man. Oh, we can't wait to talk to him, man. I'm having to call him, get him on the show. That's great. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, man, we have had a great time. Phil, did we miss anything? Is anything we missed today, bro?
Well, in the beginning, we usually do like some shout outs, we shouted out Herman Matthews, and there was someone earlier whose name I'll insert here. But we were going to just shout out some podcasts that people that we ourselves listen to.
Oh yeah, man! I listen to the D.L. Hughley show. I love D.L. Hughley, man. He my fraternity brother, D.L. Hughley, man. I just love what he does. Rachel Maddows, I listen to, man, every Monday. I'm kind of upset with Rachel though.
Oh, here we go. What Rachel do, man?
I love Rachel.
Yeah, I know you do. So what she do?
Rachel takes you on. She takes you on a story ride when she's setting up either the guest or the primary story of the night. Rachel, she does all of that, right? So
right.
Rachel comes on at 9 and she starts out like it's a drama. And so she starts to tell the story, and she's doing the setup. So she has always had these cool backstories to the setup lead-in story, right?
Right.
Or the lead-in to the guest. But I'm upset with Rachel because Rachel has started doing these special off-show things that she's doing other things in her life, and now Rachel's not on except for Monday night.
Oh, I see.
Rachel has screwed up my whole life.
So her side hustle started getting in the way.
The side hustle's in the way
Of your regular viewing?
Of my regular viewing of Rachel. The side hustle is in the way. Rachel's doing special documentaries, and she's, like a special aid to some movie that she's doing. And I'm going, wait a minute, Rachel, you have gone too far.
See,
I was okay with you when Susan got sick. That was okay. You had to go take care of Susan. But now, Rachel, you're doing these side hustles, and I need you on the TV show at 9 p.m. Eastern time every night on the Rachel Maddow show. Now the show on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday has turned into somebody else's show. I don't even recognize the people. I love the people coming on the show, but Rachel, I have to just like this Old Soul podcast come on every Tuesday. Now I'm joining for Monday night with Rachel Maddows on her show, but now let's do a podcast so I can keep up. I got to keep up with the podcast, Rachel's podcast, and then the great Michelle Obama podcast. And she was I was listening to that, man. That was like a great. I was digging that.
Man, I didn't even know she had her own podcast.
Oh yeah, man, she's on there, man, beating up Barack and everything, man. It was great.
Rachel better watch out, man. That's you go down that rabbit hole. They call that Geraldo Rivera. That's what happened to him, man. He started looking into people's Al Capone's vault and getting hit with chairs. And hey, man,
he never found anything.
No, you know what, man? What's sadder? The fact that he never found anything, or the fact that I'm sitting in front of my TV like this. I know y'all can't see us, but I'm like this.
Right. Then he went crazy.
And they going left and right, and all of these
they don't find nothing.
Undetermined. And he got to the end, and Geraldo just did like this.
Right. Might as well have been one of them ghost shows where they always looking for the ghost and the ghost don't show up on the show. It might be one of them shows, man. Where, the ghost hunters, they're looking for ghosts and they never see a ghost.
Hey.
They always say,
Larry.
I felt something. Well, you can say that because I'm looking at a show.
Hey, Larry, man, guess what I was watching? Guess what I was watching on the tube the other night? I didn't even know. Now people are able to just comedians are able to just drop specials just whenever they feel like it, kind of like the Dave Chappelle syndrome.
If you say Snoop Dogg,
no,
I'm going to turn off the podcast.
No, we're going to come back to that in a second, but we got to get out of here. But man, I saw Alonzo Bowden. Alonzo Bowden just walked out and started talking to people.
Yeah, man.
Just telling what's on his mind, man. So I know he got a podcast, don't he?
Alonzo is one of my favorite podcasts because he's one of my best friends.
Oh, yeah.
And he is one of my favorite podcasts. Alonzo is hilarious, man. But his voice, he has that voice of God too thing. Well, it's just down there where you can't really, I can't get there. And he just sounds, people with that voice can sound intelligent and not be intelligent at all. It's just because of the voice. Some people have that voice, but they're not intelligent. They just have that voice. But Alonzo is a very intelligent guy, and he's a very well-informed comedian. I've told you that before, man, and his podcast is amazing. Yeah. So he hasn't had me on it, but, that's not our friendship. We get together and talk trash about stuff, and that's our friendship, man. He ain't shit, I ain't shit, and that's why we good friends.
And that's why y'all good friends. Right. No, man, you know how you just pull up Netflix online and you're not looking for anything particular, but they play that first trailer, right, whether you wanted to or not.
Right.
Today, this is what I saw, man. Hand to Scout's honor. Snoop Dogg, Jamie Foxx in some white dude's office. And my brother told me that's like a vampire movie, like a vampire killer movie.
Okay.
Now, Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I love Snoop.
Yeah.
Snoop, Snoop has took, hip hop, rap, gangster rap to a whole nother level. He has made himself into like an icon, man. It was something about when he got with Martha Stewart, his career just took off,
Yeah.
with Snoop Dogg. I mean, but he was, he was already Snoop before that, but then he became Uncle Snoop, And
Uncle Snoop. Yeah.
Snoop is doing all he can do, and that's great. But one thing I just got to tell Snoop he shouldn't do is comedy shows. I mean, you can host. Snoop should not be hosting the comedy show. Snoop should just be on the show. It's funny, man. And then they sit down and they smoke weed. I'm like, whoa.
That's it. That's every show.
Every show they sit down and
every show that Snoop Dogg is in, then they sit down and they smoke weed.
The comedian comes on after Snoop and he does his show. Then he comes over and talks to Snoop and they smoke weed on the show talking. I'm like, only on Netflix could this happen, man. Snoop Dogg got a comedy show and he's smoking weed with the guest. That's crazy, man. Hey, man, that's Snoop. Snoop finds a way to get his thing out there, man. And it's amazing that he has turned himself into this icon, man. You cannot like Snoop, man, from the days of, Snoop Doggy Dogg with Dr. Dre to now, and Snoop will tell you right now, hey, look, if you want me on your record, it's going to be $250,000, for like 16 bars.
We'll see. 250,000 16 bars.
And then if you want him in a cameo of the video, another $250,000.
Another $250,000
in the video. I'm going, I don't even think you have a budget to have Snoop on your record, because that's $500,000 just for Snoop, and but he deserves it.
And if you do the song on an award show and you want him to join you on stage,
$250,000, and he only coming out for 16 bars.
16 bars. That's
so
it.
You better pick them bars accordingly.
and then they sat down and smoked weed.
Right. And and 16 bars don't really guarantee you a whole verse of words.
No.
It just guarantee you Snoop on the 16 bars, but it don't guarantee you a whole verse of words in that 16 bars.
Man, we gonna stop right there, because I'll start saying something about crip walking, and next thing you know, that's what I said, man. That's what I said. I'm gonna stop myself.
Yeah, stop yourself, because all I'm talking about is Snoop and the music business. I don't got nothing to do with that other stuff.
We don't got nothing to do with that other stuff.
Hey, man, we love Snoop, bro. He has taken it to another level. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah, just continuing on with what we're saying as we try to come together, not only as creatives, as artists, as a community, as a people. If you don't have the capacity or don't have the opportunity to bring folks along with you, then just lead by example. Just show that this can be done. And as hopefully we're showing you in the Old Soul Club podcast that even though the traffic may be out there, maybe lots of airwaves and frequencies going on, you'll find us and we'll find you. And that's what we need to do as a people, is to find each other, hold each other's hand and say, hey, let's go walk through this together, because we've been apart. Let me just say that the right way, because we've been apart for too long, and it's time for things to change.
I don't know what kind of sappy message that was, but I'll let you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, we've had another great day on the Old Soul Club podcast, sponsored by Larry Brash Coffee, that smooth, soulful roaster. Hey, man, Phil, it's been a great time, man. Look, I got to go cry from that last message.
Hey, man, I'm sorry, man. I'll try to talk to the editing department, man.
Yeah, you need to talk to the editing department. Look, man, you need that coffee. You need to go on that coffee, bro.
I wouldn't hit me up too hard, man. I heard you trying to get that note out and it wouldn't come out.
I know, man.
You know we're gonna have to drop it in on you. We have been talking for a while, so
Hey man, y'all have a great day on this beautiful Tuesday. Y'all enjoy yourself. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed our guest, Mr. Angelo Earl. Hey, Pope Soul, I'll get with you, man, next time.
bless y'all and have a wonderful week.
Hey, brother, peace out on the Old Soul Club.
Peace.